You think the cartel only kills snitches and traitors? Think again. Sometimes the man with the briefcase is more dangerous than the man with the gun. Behind every bloody empire is a silent accountant holding the numbers that can destroy it. These men counted the blood money, tracked the bribes, and kept the empire's sins in spreadsheets. But secrets don't stay safe forever. They knew too much, and they paid the price in blood. Roberto Escobar, Medellin cartel's accountant. Roberto Escobar calculated the blood money until a letter bomb nearly erased him forever. He was Pablo Escobar's brother and the chief accountant of the Medellin cartel. Roberto de Jesus Escobar Gaviria was known as Little Bear, who managed untold billions of cocaine dollars for Pablo's empire. He kept the books for an organization that moved 80% of America's cocaine, logging profits so vast that rats literally ate millions in stashed cash. Roberto handled the numbers behind the narco empire, tracking payoffs, bribes, and payrolls for an army of sicarios. His weapon was a ledger, not a pistol, and that made him a target. When the empire fell, Roberto paid in blood. In December 1993, while he sat in a Colombian prison, a letter bomb was sent to silence him for good. It exploded in his face, an assassination attempt by vigilantes, Los Pepes, who wanted every Escobar associate dead. Roberto survived, but barely. The blast blinded him in one eye, and shrapnel shredded his hearing. He lived on, disfigured and half-deaf, carrying the permanent scars of knowing too much. He wasn't targeted for pulling a trigger. He was targeted for keeping the books. In the end, he wasn't killed for stealing. He was almost killed for remembering. Juan Manuel El Mano Losetas, money man in Europe. They called him El Mano, the monkey, and he juggled millions for Losetas. Juan Manuel Munoz Luevano was a Mexican businessman who became the Zetas cartel's financial operative in Europe. Operating from Madrid, Spain, he posed as a wealthy oil and gas entrepreneur, even owning gas stations, while secretly laundering drug money through oil firms and fuel theft rings. Spanish police wiretaps caught him arranging cocaine shipments across the Atlantic and funneling dirty cash through front companies. In 2016, authorities seized his laptops and hit the jackpot. Detailed Excel spreadsheets of Los Zetas' European cocaine sales worth $75.6 million, broken down by date, kilo, and pickup point. El Mono's files exposed how the Zetas cartel cash was delivered in fancy hotel lobbies and mall parking lots in Mexico City. He had the entire money trail in his hands. That knowledge was his bargaining chip and his death curse. Spanish police arrested Munoz in 2016, and rumors swirled that he might cut a deal and name names. He reportedly had 80 Mexican politicians on his payout list, a list so dangerous it had to be sealed. Juan El Mono Munoz fought extradition and then flipped. He didn't get bullets, he got a plea deal. But the cartel knows he talked. He escaped death once, barely. Now he's the accountant who lives in fear, hunted by the secrets he kept. Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia, CJNG's financial brain. Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia didn't smuggle drugs. She cleaned the blood off the profits. As CJNG's financial queen, she held the keys to a billion-dollar empire. But when you manage that much cartel cash, you don't get to walk away untouched. She was known as La Jefa, the boss. Not for carrying a gun, but for carrying the cartel's purse strings. Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia was the wife of Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera, the notorious leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG. But she was far more than a spouse looking the other way. Rosalinda was the financial brains of CJNG, in charge of a web of front companies, from agricultural businesses and real estate to a popular tequila brand and even a car wash, all used to wash dirty millions in drug profits. But her fate was sealed in 2018 and again in 2021 when Mexican authorities arrested her. Her capture in November 2021 in a luxury suburb of Guadalajara was hailed as a significant blow to CJNG's money laundering structure. She was charged with organized crime and money laundering. With 2 of her children already in U.S. custody, she suddenly sat behind bars herself. They gave her the keys to billions, but that only painted a target on her back. Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia built the financial engine of a narco empire. Now she was caged by the secrets she once controlled. Because in El Mencho's world, even the queen gets sacrificed. Then Lee Yigon, the cartel's $205 million ghost banker. Then Lee Yigon helped cartels make and hide their millions. But in the end, the money that made him rich also made him dangerous. He wasn't just the cartel's banker, he became a threat too big to ignore. In 2007, Mexican police raided a luxury mansion in Mexico City and made a shocking discovery. $205 million in cash hidden in closets and suitcases. It was the largest cash seizure in drug enforcement history. The money belonged to Zenli Yigon, a Chinese-Mexican businessman secretly working with major drug cartels. Yigon wasn't a drug dealer in the streets. He was a powerful supplier. Through his company, Unimed, he legally imported chemicals like pseudoephedrine, which were used by cartels to make meth. Behind his clean image, Yigon helped feed the drug trade in Mexico, making hundreds of millions of dollars for himself and the cartels. He also worked as a money man, laundering cartel profits through businesses and real estate. But when the police raided his mansion and found the mountain of cash, everything changed. Yigon ran to the US, trying to avoid capture. After his arrest, Yigon claimed that the money wasn't his. He said top Mexican politicians forced him to hide it, threatening to kill him if he didn't obey. He became famous for a chilling quote, "Copelas or cuello," meaning pay up or your neck. Whether true or not, that claim put a huge target on his back. He said he was holding money for both cartels and corrupt officials. In 2016, the US finally sent Yigon back to Mexico. Today, he sits in prison, still waiting for a trial after more than 10 years. He is alive, but far from safe. He's not just accused of drug crimes, he's tied to powerful cartels and political corruption. Antonio Peña Arguelles, the Zetas Texas money man, he flipped to survive, but the price was blood. Antonio Peña exposed the Zeta secrets, and now he lives as a marked man. He laundered their millions. Now he's running from their bullets. Antonio Peña Arguelles was a businessman in Texas who secretly worked for one of Mexico's most violent drug cartels, Los Zetas. He helped move at least $7 million in drug money from Mexico into the United States. To hide where the money came from, he used fake companies in bank accounts, making the cash look clean and legal. Some of it was even used to buy businesses in real estate, but things turned deadly in 2011. Antonio's brother Alfonso was murdered and left near the US-Mexico border. The cartel was sending a message. They believed Antonio had either stolen money or started helping US authorities. Afraid for his life, Antonio ran and turned himself in to US law enforcement. He then became a key informant. Antonio told investigators how the Zetas laundered their drug money through the US and how corrupt Mexican politicians were involved. In 2014, he was sentenced to 30 months in federal prison for money laundering. His cooperation helped reveal how the cartel's cash moved through the American financial system, but it also made him a marked man. By turning on the Zetas, he traded safety for survival. Even after prison, Antonio remains in danger, hunted by the same cartel he once helped grow rich. In the world of cartels, silence is currency, and accountants are too expensive to keep alive. They knew too much, and for that, they paid the price. Which one shocked you the most? If you want more real cartel stories, subscribe to this channel.